What's up guys, here to my Q&A number 4. If you guys have questions, put them down below in the comments of this video. Not other videos, not on Steam, not anywhere else but this video, or on Twitter. I look at that too. So anyways, on to the questions. First one coming from Raheem asking, who had the most brutal death in the cabin group? You think it was Nick or Luke? Personally, I think Pete, because, well, actually Nick and Pete had kind of the same death in a way, because, you know, in 101, if Pete dies, he gets devoured by walkers. In 202, he has his guts out and everything else. He was shot in the head. That is definitely a brutal death. But then in 202, Nick, he has kind of a death like, 202, he gets devoured by walkers and died that way. And in 204, gets shot in the shoulder and basically just dies somewhere and turns into a walker. So, and get like axed by Clementine. So, yeah, definitely, I do think Pete. Now, Luke, Luke, no, he just drowned, man. That wasn't really brutal. Like, brutal really counts as gore or more blood, okay? Depending on how brutal it is. Like, you know, Pete has guts all the way out. That's freaking brutal, man. Obviously, we didn't really see it, but yeah, I think Pete. Moving on to the next question coming from Sukosagi asking, do you think Telltale was being lazy on developing, like, wait, what? I'm gonna guess you mean likes, groups, and the characters. Now, yeah, I don't know who the hell Telltale wanted us to like this episode, the whole season, really. Like, it was more geared towards, like, hey, in 202, there was like, hey, like Luke, and then Kitty came back, made us choose between them. Then in 203, hey, Luke's back, like him, and then he failed, and Kenny got beaten down, and like, hey, like Kenny now, he's all hurt. 204, hey, lose interest in both Luke and Kenny, and have more interest towards Jane. And then 205, it was like, hey, listen to Jane, Kenny's being corrupt, Luke is starting to get a bit more normal, but then he dies and everything else. So yeah, I don't know who Telltale wanted us to like. It was kind of a tie between Jane and Kenny, like, hey, Kenny's being corrupt, so you can go towards Jane who wants to help you out. So that is what I felt Telltale was trying to do with this season, or towards the last few episodes of the season. Now, next one asking, do you think Surya should have died just for Kenny development? Yeah, I think she was actually used pretty well, to be honest. You know, she was just there just to make Kitty happy, and then at the end she was there to make Kenny sad. So yeah, obviously she wasn't really a kind of hard person. She was like a passive mom type, and just having her there she wouldn't really be too much of a benefit to the group and everything else. So I think Surya was actually used pretty well in this season, to be honest. And next one asking, if you could hang out with Clementine's parents or Jamie, who would it be? Clem and Jane aren't with them. So Clem's parents were an engineer and a nurse. And Jamie, I don't know how old she is, probably like, I'm gonna say like 15 or around Sarah's age maybe, I'm guessing. So, I don't know, cause Clementine's parents, they sound like they're pretty nice people, but Jamie sounds like she was probably an emotional wreck and probably just a scared little girl in her mind, kinda like Sarah was. But yeah, I would definitely want to hang out with Clementine's parents, because I'm not sure if Jane couldn't handle her sister, I probably couldn't really. Anyways, this one coming from Dragon Ball Radiant saying, ultimately Kenny was willing to sacrifice himself to keep the kids safe. Knowing that now, do you regret picking Jane? Honestly, I really don't, because that is what I wanted, to be honest. That's what I wanted to actually pick at that moment, because what we saw from there, you saw that the baby was gone. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, where's the baby? Is he dead? Was it an accident? And then Kenny threw a punch. That's what happened. He threw a punch, and I was like, Kenny, calm down, but he wouldn't really do it. So I think that, you know, it doesn't really matter what the outcome is. It matters what the problem was, because I'm not gonna regret actually like picking Jane because the outcome of Kenny's thing, you know, letting the kids in instead of letting himself in. But you know, that's just the outcome of that ending. I felt that my Clementine, the way I wanted to do my Clementine, was to, you know, go ahead and go back to the house and start a community there. That's why I chose Jane, because I felt that Kenny was wrong for actually going ahead and being so mad at Jane and starting to fight with her. I mean, obviously she asked for the fight, she wanted to go ahead and kill him and everything else, but I felt that it could have gone a bit more easier than I really anticipated. You know, obviously it was a dumb plan, it was a horrible plan that ended up going so terribly wrong and costing Kenny his life. And at that moment, it was just a really hard thing, and I don't regret picking Jane. Obviously, Kenny had a sweet, awesome ending, but I felt that my Clementine is comfortable being with Jane, or myself is comfortable being with Jane, and I don't regret picking Jane. Anyways, off of that question, next one coming from Timothy Clark asking, if you could choose, would you go by yourself or stay with a very large group? Honestly, I don't like large groups. I like small groups, probably like, 3 to 4 people at the least, maybe. But large groups, I don't really like them because you saw how big Clementine's group was. You had Kenny and everybody else. That didn't go out too well because obviously more people, more problems. So yeah, I would definitely go lone wolf by myself. I have a better chance of surviving because I won't have to argue with anybody or get in problems with anybody. So yeah, I would definitely feel more safe or comfortable being by myself. Next one coming from the Legend Gamer asking, if Molly would come with you and you had to leave someone from the group, who would you leave if Molly wanted to come back with you? You put Ben there, so I'm gonna choose Ben because I hated Ben, so easy question right there. Next one coming from Dean asking, if Lily came back to be a main character in season 3, what would you think about it? I think I would be like, hey, it's Lily, but not too much because I wasn't really too fond of her, but she was a great character. She had great development and she actually let herself out a bit more. But I think I would be like, why is Lily here? Because Kenny was more like a bro. He was like, hey, I knew this girl. I wasn't mean to her or anything. I didn't do anything bad in the past. But Lily, Lily did, she shot Carly right in front of Clementine, right in front of everybody. So I'm pretty sure Clementine would see Lily like, hey, you shot Carly for no reason just because you were mad. And I know Kenny killed Larry, but still, that was kind of that was for a reason. Lily shot Carly for no reason. Therefore, I would be like, why is Lily here? What can she actually do? Kenny was more like a protector of Clementine, kind of like Lee was, but Lily wasn't really like anything to Clementine. She obviously gave her the 2 hair thingies, but overall, she didn't really have any kind of relationship with Clementine at all, so I wouldn't really think too much of it. Alright, and then you asked, if Luke never died, do you think the group would be safe? No, because Luke really he spoke up at the end of episode 4, but he got hurt in episode 5, so he would be the type to actually go up against Kenny because his ankle or his leg, was actually messed up. So if he spoke out, if he made Kenny mad, he wouldn't really have a chance against them. Therefore, it wouldn't really make so much of a difference because Luke wasn't really the type to actually change the group's ways, because Kenny was the one to actually influence the group the most, because everyone was getting tired of Kenny, everyone was just pissed off at him, and they couldn't defy him because, obviously they didn't want to do anything bad to him, they didn't want to leave and go. So I don't think that Luke would influence Kenny at all, really. Next one coming from Smoking Dash is asking, could you see Clementine and AJ older in season 3? Definitely, I could dream. I would really like to see Clementine at least being, 14 or 16 years old. More preferably 16 years old. I want her to be a teenager. I want her to actually be a stronger character because, having her be a child, she can't really do much, but having her being at least a teenager, she could actually do a lot more. She could actually speak up about her opinions to everybody else, and it actually influence her, influence them. So definitely, I would love to see, Clementine being at least 16 years old, and probably AJ being at least 5 or 6. So that'd be pretty interesting to take care of him. But I really don't want to actually take care of anybody. I just want to go on my own business, be in the apocalypse, and just do apocalypse stuff. But anyways, this question coming from you, also asking, would she have a love interest? Now, if you look at that guy, Gil, little urban boy, that was mean, but the little boy in Jane's ending, he looked at her hat. That boy wants her. That boy wants Clementine. He didn't even say thanks. He's like, hey, cool hat. So I hope not, because it'd be very awkward to actually have to turn him down as Clementine. So your other question asking, could you see Clem dying? Hell no. Hell no. If so, how? If she were to die, I think she would die protecting AJ or something like that. But that would be kind of like what happened in, season 1. But yeah, I don't I don't see Clementine dying at all. You know, she's gonna live on forever because Telltale knows that if Clementine dies, we riot. Next one from Jake asking, if Luke didn't die at the pond, do you think that he would have stayed with Clementine or go with Mike and Bonnie? Now, there's a little weight here. We have Jane, that lifts the weight all the way up. We have Kenny, kind of goes down a little bit, and then we have Clem, and goes up almost to where Jane is. Then we have Bonnie, at least the middle, because he was cool with Bonnie. But then we have Mike. Not really sure how he was with Mike, but probably at least close to Bonnie. So we did have Arville, which is kind of a bit way down below Mike. So that definitely way out to him wanting to stay with Clem and the group. Next question coming from the Razor asking, what do you think about YouTube and does it affect your grades in school? Well, pretty much YouTube so far just being intermediate in a way, just been a blast so far, and I want to actually, you know, keep on going on for as long as I can. But right now I'm pretty limited due to my laptop. But hopefully whenever I get my new PC, I can actually do way more and do way more stuff, have a bigger time playing and do more awesome stuff, because so far the feedback and everything else has been magnificent and it's been great. So does it affect my grades? No. If you don't know, I have a world history class, I have what's it called, some engineering design class, and then I have information technology as well as physics and chemistry. So no homework at all, none. All I do is study. Like for world history, I used to like history until that one teacher who I got in 10th grade just killed history for me. And guess what? He's my teacher in 11th grade world history now, so whoop-de-doo, it's horrible. But anyways, yeah, I'm trying my best in there. Obviously, since I got no homework, I do have time to actually study at home, so YouTube doesn't really affect my grades at all. Making a video only takes about, 1 hour, then the editing takes about, 2 to 3 hours, and then after that, I probably go watch some Game of Thrones and go to bed. So not much homework, not much to do with school. It probably isn't too serious right now, but probably a little bit more, probably into November, probably get more serious. But anyways, nothing too big about school yet. Next one coming from Claire. Didn't say Clary this time. Do you think that they will continue Clementine's story in season 3? I really hope so. To all you people saying that you don't want Clementine in season 3, die, okay? I'm just joking, but anyways. But really, I feel like Clementine's story isn't really over yet. It ended in a way where it can actually pick up in season 3. You have all these endings that can actually meet up into one place and continue throughout the story. If Telltale can actually go ahead and do it right, then it could be a huge success. Now, I already see you playing as AJ because that'll be way too young, because you need a massive time skip to be able to play as him, because playing a 5-year-old wouldn't be the most exciting thing. Like, we play as an adult, we play as young adults, 400 days, and we play as an 11-year-old, but now it's time for a teenager. Just Clementine, teenage Clementine will be a great thing, so hoping for that. Question from this dude asking, do you think that in the DLC there's going to be a flashback of what happened to Nick's mom or Sarah's? Nick's mom or Sarah's? I don't really think that's really significant to improve like a DLC. Like, Sarah's mom wasn't even mentioned at all. How you know she didn't die at birth? Okay, but anyways, Nick's mom, I don't really see any significance of having this DLC, so moving on. This one coming from Straw Hat Luffy asking, if you were to see Mike, Bonnie, and Arville corpses in season 3, and there's an option to spit on them, would you do it? Maybe, I'll think about that. This one from JSRTV asking, do you prefer Xbox One or PS4? I don't know. I want the PS4 to play the Last of Us Remastered because I haven't played that yet, but I want the Xbox One for Halo 5, but I still might be able to get both of them before Halo 5 comes out or before any awesome exclusive comes out. So right now I'm leaning towards PS4. Question from, not even gonna say your name, do you think Arville, Bonnie, and Mike will return in season 3? Probably not. I don't really see them being in season 3 for whatever reason, because Bonnie, she's obviously determined it now. She can die in episode 5, and Mike and Arville, I don't really see them actually coming back at all, really. Oh, it's the Razor again. Will you ever play other games on your channel? Yeah, I definitely will try to play other games, because I will be getting a PC where I can actually play the mini games I have on Steam. I have been able to play so many games that I have on Steam. I want to play them. Mostly gonna be playing Borderlands the PreSequel because I have been waiting for that game. It looks pretty interesting. I want to play with other people maybe and do a lot of fun stuff. So hopefully people will actually enjoy me playing the PreSequel, because I have been waiting for that game for a little while now, and I'll be purchasing it the first thing But first thing next month, so I might do other stuff like Far Cry and Assassin's Creed Unity whenever that comes out, and a lot more stuff, maybe. Depends on what games are cool to me. Question from Raheem asking, who would you save, Luke or Nick? Luke. I don't like Nick, and if you guys want me to explain why I don't like Nick, I might be doing a top 5 least favorite characters. Question from Michael Kennedy asking, if you had to choose between Clementine and Alvin Jr., who would you pick? Motherfucker. Damn it. Okay, wait. Yeah, Clementine, because Alvin Jr., I'm sorry, gave you a chance for your life, but you don't go up against Clementine. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to die. Next one coming from Brandy saying, I don't care if I'm your next Q&A. That's not nice. I mean, you gotta care, man. You gotta care. But anyways, would you save Sarah and Carlos or Pete and Nick? But I don't want Nick in there. Like, probably Sarah and Carlos. I really don't like Nick for some reason. I just don't like him. Sorry. Definitely Sarah and Carlos. Because Carlos is a doctor. That's why. And lastly, one for Raheem again. Don't know why I chose you like 3 times. But anyways, if you had to choose to bring back 3 characters to life in the cabin group, who would it be? It would be Sarah, definitely. Number 1, Pete, and who else? Luke, because why not? Anyways, that is all. If you guys did enjoy, leave a thumbs up and also ask some questions down below in the comments. I choose the most interesting to me, as well as non-duplicates of stuff that have been asked in the comments, of course, and in previous Q&As. So if you guys haven't watched my other Q&As, check them out because I answer quite a lot of questions. So I try to answer about 20 of them at the most, maybe a bit less sometimes depending on how long the video is, but you know, it all depends on the time and the questions answered. So thank you guys for watching, and I'm out.